Welcome back, everyone. Phoenix 3 here, and we finally got all the translations for the new Sun and Moon set, Islands Waiting for You, and Moonlight of Aloha. So, these started leaking like 2 days ago, but I wanted to wait until they were all up so I could actually do a video and just give my opinion on what I think of the set and maybe tell you some cards to look out for. So, we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're not going to look at everything, but we're going to look at some of the things that is of importance. So here, Victory Bell does what? For single grass, you poison your opponent's active Pokemon, you burn it and confuse it. That can potentially be strong. Grass right now is going to be really good. Forest of Giant Plants is like the equalizer to them being, somewhat decent. Like this is just a decent card by itself. For one, you put like a bunch of damage counters on your opponent. So for one energy, you're pretty much doing 20 plus 10 plus 20 damage. For those who don't know, burn damage is now a consistent thing between turns. It's not like before where you had to flip a coin and if you got heads then you took nothing. If tails you took 20. Now you take 20 damage. Then you flip a coin and if you get heads the special condition is removed. If not, it persists. So burn is a lot better now. It's still really hard to say what you can actually do with this victory bell because 140 HP it still isn't that bulky. But with Force of Giant Plants, you can like this knocks out pretty much a 50 basic, 50 HP basic, and that's something to look out for. And Confusion is still more annoying than it has any right to be. So moving on, Lilligant does what? Nothing impressive. This card here, everyone's kind of hyping about right now. It has an ability that gives it effectively 30 more HP, so 160 HP, and grass colorless attack. Still, it's a grass type, so Force of Giant Plants works with it really well. And the attack, if it attacks a GX or EX Pokemon, the attack does 70 more damage. And don't forget, we also have Choice Band as a thing as well. I just actually don't know if Choice Band is in this set or not, but we'll be finding that out soon. I know the one thing that I did learn about this set is that there is a secret rare full art max potion, so I want to get some of those for my Pidgeot deck. Here we have the return of Fliptini. If you don't know what it does, the ability Victory Star lets you ignore any and all coin flips in an attack and flip those coins again. For those who don't know, the way this ability works is you don't get to choose what coins you flip. So let's say you got 3 heads and 1 tails. You don't get to reflip that tails. You have to reflip all 4 of the coins. So you really only want to use this if you're on the really bad side of odds. So this ability is returning to the game. It wasn't really used back then when it was around. I don't think it's going to be used right now either. But the card's existence now in like the new meta is might let some jankiness come up. Now this only works for attacks, so you're not going to get the reflip crushing hammer coins or anything like that. Of course, we look at all the ultra rares. Turn Tornator. All right, this one here. See if we can move this out the way a little bit. All right, Trap Shell, 20 damage. If this Pokemon is damaged by an opponent's attack during your next turn, place 8 damage counters. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's actually pretty good for a double. That's going to see some play, especially in Volcanion. Like, can you imagine that? You get 3 steam ups off, you're hitting for 110 damage, plus the threat of an additional 8 damage counters. That's gross. Okay, I see you. Crimson Flame, 160 discard, 2 fire energies attached to this Pokemon. Nitro Tank, attach 5 fire energy discard power to your Pokemon any way you like. And as normal, you only use 1 GX attack per game. It's good. I like it. Um, let me see. We got Squirtle. Squirtle. Wow. Sandshrew. Doesn't do anything interesting. Of course, your Alolan Pokemon have their free attack, so that's there. I think Vulpix is the best one. Snow Shovel, once to your turn, before you attack, you may draw a card. That combos extremely well with Mallow. Alolan Vulpix, of course, has the free attack guidance. Search your deck for two Pokemon, reveal them, and put it into your hand. So it's just a really good attack. If you get hit with an N, it doesn't matter because it's not like the attack costs you anything to use. So it's a win more effect in my opinion. Oh yeah, can't forget about the Alolan Ninetales. Let's look at it. Okay, I'm about to switch here to something else. My mouse does this thing where if you click it, it doesn't register and shrinks it. I'll get it eventually. Switching to my tablet. That's going to be more annoying to work with actually. But Ice Blade, 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for a double colorless. And they are really abusing that attack cost. Blizzard Edge, 160. Discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. Clear Gate. Move all damage counters from this Pokemon to your opponent's active. Can't use more than 1 GX per turn. Sorry. The GX attack is pretty much going to let you put up to 200 damage on your opponent's active. So you definitely have to watch out for this effect here. It's not like Mewtwo's damage change where it swaps it. You just take the damage off the Vulpix and move it to something else. So that is going to be something to watch out for. If you didn't know, Aqua Patch is now a thing, so water is getting better on top of the support it already has. Delibird doesn't do anything interesting. You typically don't really look at flip a coin effects to get something. But Nilix, what do? Hell, this attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Frozen Breath, you may discard 2 water energy attached to the Pokemon. View your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And it's got a triple water cost. Could potentially be better, but guess not. Heliolisk, what do? Nothing interesting. Tapu Koko. This card right here has the same ability as the Zapdos EX from Fire Red, Leaf Green. When you put it into play, you may move as many lightning energy to it as you want, then switch it with your active Pokemon. So that ability is coming back. I'm just a little sad that is not on Zapdos because I really want to play with that card again. But it's okay. These recycle themselves pretty well, and the HP is EX level. So this is the balancing factor here of the card. Sky Claw 130 and Tapu Thunder does 50 damage times the number of all your opponent's energy in play. So that's going to be an equalizer too for all the turbo decks out there, which is actually a pretty good like effect. Looks like we got a Gothitelle set, so Slowbro doesn't do anything. Alright, Gothitelle, what do? Tractor Beam, choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, switch to active, then do 30 damage to it. Link Blast, nothing impressive. Machoke, on the other hand, is actually a halfway decent card. Its ability makes it to where your opponent can't do damage or place damage counters on your bench Pokemon. So this here stops Trevenant Break, Decidueye GX. Anything else that snipes damage or snipes the bench, like Darkrai, the new Umbreon GX, this stops that. So like Machoke by itself might see some play, so that might be a pretty cool thing. It's nice to have this card in the meta should things become a little unruly. You can just put some of these in your deck and you're good. Alright. Machamp, settling score, does 80 damage for each prize. Oh my goodness. Oh, for each prize card your opponent took the last turn. Okay, so it's not super broken. But that can still be really good. They knocked out an EX. This does 160 more damage. I'm just looking for some interesting stuff. Usually I look for a really good basic Pokemon because it's really hard to fit a stage 1 in your deck, let alone a stage 2 in the game right now, unless they have to do something really good. Does that really say bitch slap? It does say bitch slap. I'm pretty sure that's not what that says on the card. Pokebeast usually has this trolley factor where they put something dumb on the card somewhere. Or it could just be bitch slap. You never know. This is Japanese translations and they don't really care about a word like that. That's actually pretty funny though. Bitch slap. Alright, Clefable does nothing interesting. Alright, Comfy does something interesting. As long as this Pokemon is in play, each of your Pokemon with 30 energy attached to it can be affected by special conditions, and if they are affected by a special condition, then you remove it. So that is nice. It's basically the Virizion EX for fairy types. It may see some use. Sweet Kiss, 30 damage, draw a card. Can come clutch. Going into the Dragons, Drampa. If I can get it over here. Alright, amass, search your deck for basic energy. Attach it to this Pokemon and shuffle your deck. And Power Cyclone, moving energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So we got the attack on the first Tornadus card coming back. This card here is actually pretty good. One energy, you get an energy, attach it to it. You play this with Tapu Koko. Attach a lightning, search your deck for a lightning. The next turn, you can be ready to attack with it. It's just energy acceleration. That's the way that I used to use it back then with my Zapdos. I used Vaporeon to put extra energy down, and then next turn I was ready to use Legendary Ascent to put them into play. So that strategy is back a little bit more. Jangmo does 10 damage less to him via ability. Skip to stage 1 or because it doesn't matter. The GX takes 30 less damage from attacks, 130 shred, so this isn't going to be stopped by something with Safeguard or that new Safeguard ability that's around. And Fierce Uppercut GX, it just does 240 damage, so it nukes something. That's all it does. Blissey has a come into play effect. When you evolve it, you may heal 80 damage from one of your Pokemon. I could see this card getting some play because 80 right now is good damage to be healing from yourself. Though I was still just fitting a super potion. Swallow, do you do anything interesting? No, you don't. It has a retreat cost too. They just love making the birds bad. Swallow should not have a retreat cost. Alright, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, when you attach an energy card from your hand, it's asleep. I mean, you could probably do shenanigans with that. His whole thing is he can attack when he's asleep. No big deal, really. Energy Lotto. Um, Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. If there's an energy card there, you choose one and put it into your hand. So this here is basically something that can grab double colorless energy out of your deck. That's all it does. Field Blower is a card that I'm excited about. First of all, it's the return of tool removal, so we can get rid of things, and it also discards stadium cards. If you played back then, there was this old card called Windstorm, and what that did was allow you to choose two in any combination of a Pokemon tool or stadium in play, both yours or your opponent's, and you discard them. It really wasn't like an auto include in every deck, but you were better off if you played it, and you really didn't play more than 2 of them. Nowadays, things are extremely good. Like the whole strategy behind Turbo Dark is the fact that you can't discard Pokemon tools. Or the whole strategy behind Evil Tall is the fact that you can't discard Pokemon tools. And a lot of decks have gotten really powerful because you can't discard Pokemon tools. So now we can discard Pokemon tools. Those decks become weaker, which is great because it means my Pidgeot deck has to work less hard against Turbo Dark. Because there's a tech in Pidgeot that you can use to get around the effective experience share, which prevents them from keeping energy in play. It is consistent, but sometimes the game just doesn't work with you, and you don't have the ability to actually keep the energy off the board. But now we don't have to worry about that. We can discard the tools and be good from there. I might actually play a couple of these in my deck. Of course, it's going to be hard to find the bench space. That's where I wish we really had side decks in Pokemon. Hala, interesting card. If you use your GX attack for the game, then when you shuffle your hand into your deck, instead of drawing 4 cards, you draw 7. So that's going to be super good. This is just more support for grass and lightning Pokemon. Each of your basic grass and lightning Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. So, yeah, I mean, oh man, that turns that one Pokemon that takes 30 less damage into a 190 HP at stage 1. That's going to be interesting. Takes 60 less damage from attacks. I can see people using that now. Of course, I already went over these guys here. These are just their full arts. I really wish they would do something about that plain background. Like, I do not like that. It just looks so tacky. Vulpix makes it look nice, though. I'm not going to lie. And Tapu Koko makes it look nice as well. It looks like there's an actual effect going on there. That just might be the foil sheet, but full arts. Ghost rares. Look at that. Secret rare field blower. Got to get my hand on some of these. And of course, the bane of all of my opponent's existence, reprinted once again as a full art. Man, I seriously hope that they reprint Pidgeot EX in like some set or something. Or give it like a promo box just so I can use it again for more years. And we have Secret Rare Lightning Energy, which is looking nice. Alright, so we got other things here. We've got Trevenant. People are saying this card is good. So Trevenant does Poltergeist. Their opponent reveals his hand. This attack does 30 damage times the number of trainer cards in their hand. Yeah, I can see that being the thing. Oh, and if they put a Trevenant break on it, the attack becomes one colorless because of the stadium card. Oh my goodness, that's going to be gross. They need to do something about trainer lock and expand it. Like, that's the only thing ruining the format. Chandelure, shady move. It has this ability, once again, once in your turn, you may move 1 damage counter from either player's Pokemon to another. Yours or your opponent's. So, it does that. And 1 for 50, your opponent is now burned. The retreat cost is surprisingly low for 1. Okay, Chandelure could be useful. This thing does nothing really good, I guess. Salazzle, the super sexy Pokemon. I mean, seriously, is there any appropriate way to draw this thing? Look at it. Hot Poison. All right, now what this card here does is when you put it from your hand onto one of your Pokemon to evolve them, you can leave your opponent's active Pokemon poisoned and burned. Back then, there were cards that had a set of effects that when they came into play, it put 2 special conditions on a Pokemon. So it's nice to see that coming back, because should they make a Pokemon that does more damage based on special conditions, then you'll be able to do something with them. Uh, Also, there is that Darkrai that has the GX attack, where if you use it and the defending Pokemon has a special condition on it, then it's automatically knocked out. So Salazzle Darkrai could be a thing. Tentacruel does nothing interesting. Oh, we got a Wailord card. It's only got 200 HP. I wish I had like 250. And again, it's just an HP sponge. That's it. We got Fish. Carry Ashore. Choose one basic Pokemon from either your discard pile or your opponent's discard pile and put it onto the bench. That can be clutch. Wishy-Washy. We already know what this does. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may switch this Pokemon with a Wishy-Washy GX in your hand. It retains all special conditions and everything attached to it. So this is basically just going to serve to get this into this. Oh, they're both basics. Why would you want that though? I can't understand what you would want to use this for when you could just use this and not take up more deck space. I mean, the free retreat is nice, but the 30 HP is low, and I mean, I can't really. I don't know. All right, let's look at this thing because I just like went right by it. All right, so we got water gun, 1 for 20. Microburst Vortex, 120. Discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon for 5 energy. That's extremely heavy, even with Aqua Patch. And we have Blue Surge GX, 220 damage. Move all energy attached to this Pokemon to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. But I mean, still, that's getting down 5 energy and then being able to use that. That's a hard commitment right there. All right, let's see. Alone Graveler, nothing special. Alone Golem. I mean, Heavy Bomber could be nice. The attack cost isn't that heavy. When you got double colorless energy and max elixir in a format, you could pay that. And it does 30 less damage for each energy in your opponent's retreat costs. I mean, it still hits hard. Trubbish, Gobardor, what do you do? This attack does 20 damage times the number of item cards in your opponent's discard pile. Oh, that could be gross. Yeah, that. Oh, man. Okay. Pilfer, draw 2 cards. Mimic, if your opponent uses an attack during his last turn, excluding GX attacks, use. Now, that can be an interesting tech in Expanded for sure. As long as this Pokemon's in play, your male Pokemon attacks do 10 more. Okay, that's the card everyone's talking about. It lets Mega Scizor do a thing, I guess. Toppy, Lely. This here is the overpowered card. And I'm not saying overpowered because it's broken. I'm saying overpowered because it does a lot of things. For one, Wonder Touch lets you choose a supporter from your discard pile and put it into your hand when you put it to your bench. Energy Drive is the exact same thing as Lugia's Arrow Ball attack. And the Cure for the GX attack restores 2 of your bench Pokemon's HP. So heal everything on 2 of your Pokemon. An Arrow Ball attack and a Jirachi EX effect. This card is going to be an auto included in every deck. Hey, hold on, am I reading that right? It doesn't even have a weakness. Oh yeah, that's going to be an auto include in every deck. This here might be a new Shaman actually. Um, auto. It's going to be at least a 2 of in every deck. That's going to be super interesting. Gliscor, Finishing Needle. So it is just 70 damage. They have no Pokemon on them. Pancham. Okay, so it probably made it as a dark type. Rockruff, Lycanroc. This one here, when it evolves, it has Lysander's effect for the ability, and you switch something up. Claw Swipe just does 110 damage. And we have Death Rogue GX, does 50 damage times the number of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Can't use more than 1 GX attack per game. So that'll nuke like a Mega Rayquaza. Though that matchup is still extremely difficult for you. Minor, don't care. Whirlwind on that. Murkrow, what's the art look like? Alright, art looks cool. Ravenclaw does 10 damage plus 10 more damage for each damage counter on all of your opponent's Pokemon in play. That can be interesting. Pairs extremely well with GX attacks. Alright, Sableye. Limitation, your opponent can't play supporter cards from his or her hand during their next turn. Okay, I thought it was a little bit more overpowered. Everybody was talking about this card, and I'm like, they done broke Sableye again, didn't they? But it does no damage, and I mean, it's a good stall. I'm not gonna lie. Taking your opponent's supporter away is always a big deal. Pangoro doesn't do anything interesting. We do get Metagross GX. I'm not seeing anything interesting on the previous forms. So, Geotech system. Once during your turn, you may put either a Psychic or Metal Energy from your discard pile to your active Pokemon. So, Energy Acceleration on the ability. It's a stage 2. That's a super hard commitment, but it's on any Pokemon though. So if you can get that down, then you're good. Giga Hammer 150. Can't use Giga Hammer during your next turn. Algorithm GX. Search the deck for up to 5 cards to put into your hand, then shuffle your deck afterwards. That is super strong, but cards like N just make it so much weaker. It's the reason why I think N needs to go. It just, like, they're making all of these really interesting cards that you can't use because of other cards that are like 5 years old. So, Cottony, Whimsicott, Overabundance of Fuzz. If this Pokemon, or if the defending Pokemon is knocked out during your next turn, oh my goodness, take 2 additional prize cards. Man, that's a huge. I mean, yeah, you have to set up for it though. But with evolutions being a thing, if Decidueye played this, you know how gross this would be in Decidueye. Gumi, Sliggoo, Goodra. What does Goodra do? Power Whip does 20 damage when your opponent's Pokemon times the amount of energy attached to it. That can be pretty gross. Beach Slider 130. Switch to defending Pokemon when your opponent's bench Pokemon. Your opponent chooses. So it's basically Mega Pidgeot's Mock Cyclone, except not as good. I mean, it does the exact same thing, but that energy cost is going to hinder it super hard. Cast form, forecast. Choose 2 same cards from your hand and put them in, or from your deck, put them into your hand. That's pretty much all that's doing. Pat Rat, Watchhog, assess. Look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Discard one of them and return the other. All right. Fletchling doesn't do anything interesting. Fletch Center doesn't do anything interesting. Talonflame doesn't do anything interesting. Alright, so we got Aqua Patch. Attach a basic water energy from your discard pile to one of your bench water Pokemon. It does not have to be basic, just put it on the bench. Rescue Stretcher. Choose 1 Pokemon from your discard pile, put it in your hand, or choose 3 and shuffle them back into your deck. This card's going to see play. Mallow is probably the most interesting card in the set to me because it's a reprint of Oracle from way back when, like e-reader days. Basically what it does is you choose 2 cards from your deck and shuffle the rest of your deck and put those 2 cards on top of your deck in any order. Why this card is strong is because if you play it with Shaman and or Octillery or the Alolan Sandslash, it essentially turns this effect into search the deck for 2 cards to put into your hand. And that is going to be super strong because a lot of time when you're drawing through your deck, you're trying to find some specific cards. And this allows you to find those cards without having to play a Sycamore to dump everything you got. So that's cool. Hilltop Streamer or Stream. This here does, once your turn, each player may search his deck for a water or fighting basic Pokemon and put it onto his or her bench. If it does, that player shuffles their deck, so it just gets Pokemon into play. I seriously hope colorless Pokemon get some support at some point because they really do need it. And we have the full arts. That art actually looks super scary. I like the way the colors contrast on it. This is trying to be the new Lucario, right? I just wonder how they're going to handle Mega Evolution, though, because Metagross has a GX. So if they were to make Mega Metagross that have a GX too, it'd be like a Stage 3. Could you imagine that? Though it'd make things interesting with Rare Candy. You go um, Beldum, I believe that's the first one. Rare Candy, Mega Metagross GX. Well, at least that gives me some hype for my Pidgeot GX when they eventually make it. That card is going to be a $50 card. So if you get one, unload it either immediately or go for other things. Secret Rare. Secret Rare Enhanced Hammer. And that looks like it to be it so far. So that's all the cards, and this video has run on long enough. So if you guys like this video here, then please subscribe to my channel. We're going to always be doing a bunch of Pokemon related things, especially TCG related. I'm just having so much fun with it right now. Leave your comments down below. I want to know what you guys think of this set, and if your wallet can even contain the greatness that is this set. And as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch my videos, and I hope to see you all in the next one.